Здравейте на всички, аз съм Хънтър, добре дошли в... Сега кой епизод беше обаче? 9 или 10? Май 10 епизод. Май сме 10 епизод, не съм сигурен. Обаче продължаваме с Pathfinder ролята в The Righteous. Through the Ashes, DLC-то. Стигнахме вече в околието около Defender's Heart. Остава ни малко, вече сме на края. Сега първото обаче, което трябва да направим, е да тигнем нашия изключителен левел. Да видим какво ще подобрим в нашата герой преди края на играта. За Weapon Finesse. Аз не съм сигурен дали Weapon Finesse важи за... когато сме unarmed. Made for a creature of your size. May use your dexterity. Light weapon. Какво се брои за light weapon? Is used in one hand. Easier for primary attacks with restraint modifiers added to damage half with restraint. Off-hand attacks. When using both hands to wield a weapon applies to the weapon will use primary hand only. An armed strike is always considered a light weapon. До сега, че ние можем да използваме декстерити. И аз ако използвам декстерити, всъщност мога да се надигам на декстерити също така. Обаче аз ще дигна от фланг. Знаете ли тази работа? Ще се дигна от фланг, за да имаме от фланг. Fighters Finesse, Fencing Grace, Outdoor Dueling Mastery. Всякакви яки неща. Combat, така, Crushing Blow. Искам да видя дали има нещо друго интересно все пак, което можем да си вдигнем. Освен, разбира се, това Шейтан. Elemental Fist. Equal Fist deals acid damage. You gain bonus to acid damage rolls equal to your wisdom. Добре, този стил ми харесва също. Даже си ни трябва. Ама за сега ще дигнем out flank. Ние ще получим някакъв друг стил. Style Strike. Defensive. The monk spins about, confounding his foe. If the attack hits, the monk gains plus 4 dodge bonus to AC against any attacks made by the target of the style strike until the start of his next turn. This bonus does not stack with itself. The monk links his hands together, swinging both arms like a club and dealing tremendous damage. If the attack hits, the monk rolls his unarmed strike damage twice, adding both rolls together before applying strength and other modifiers to the damage. This bonus is not multiplied on critical hit. The monk attempts to sweep Fall's leg, knocking the opponent down. Attack hits, the monk can make a free trip attempt against the target of this strike. Using the base attack bonus of the attack, this trip attempt does not provoke attack for opportunity. Shattering Punch. Monk delivers brutal punch that can penetrate defenses. If the attack hits, it bypasses any damage reduction or hardness possessed by the target of that attack. Defensive Spin. Hammer Blow. Добре, те тежките неща са много яки. Аз какво си избера? Leg Sweep. Shattering Punch. Hammer Blow. Defensive Spin. Hammer Blow, Leg Sweep, Shattering Punch. Мисля, че Hammer Blow е по-добрия вариант. Leg Sweep също не е лошо. Като цяло е тия трите. Това е четвъртото нещо, не ми се вижда толкова яко. Дали да се вземе Hammer Blow или Shattering Punch? Hammer Blow или Leg Sweep. Да пробваме да ги... Ама не, ние имаме какво да им правим. Значи Hammer Blow ще има. Purity of Body. Immunity to all diseases. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Paladin Stone Lord. Divine Bond плюс Stone Strike. Я не знам какво ще получим тук. Divine Bond, бац. Selective Channel не ми се вярва. Weapon Focus обаче може. Какво още мога да си дигнаме? Extra Lane Hands. Extra Lane Hands. Outflank. Това е момента, в който дигаме Outflank. Animal Companion, естествено, Horse. We're gonna get a horsey. Така. Нашия файтър тук продължава да се развива по правилно. Ето Weapon Specialization, който чаках. Сега ще правим още повече демидж. Първо обаче може да си дигнем Outflank. Барт. Extra Performance, Lingering. Мисля да се дигна точно Lingering Performance, защото Lord Master take 10 any knowledge Lord skill check he has ranks. Lord can choose not to take 10, instead roll normal. Аха. Мога още 6 да си сложа. Ма Lingering е по-добре, трябва да съм честен. Lingering Performance. Айде, дигаме си Lingering Performance. Cat's Grace, мисля. Или Delay Poison. Cat's Grace, нека да имаме бъфове. Че стрелят. Моя роук. Още сник атака. Супер. Така. Добре. Сега тук въпросът е какво да дигнем. Deadly Aim нещо не мисля ще да дигам. Outflank, естествено. Дали ще имаме Outflank всъщност. Имаме Precise Strike, имаме всеки глупости и нямаме Outflank. Throw anything не ми трябва. Мога да се дигнем Proved Initiative. Или пък Deadly Aim все пак. Damage. Инициатива мога да се сложа. Така цяло няма какво да... Това е. Така. Стигнахме до Сендри ли най-накрая? Ти да видиш. Бях казал, че аркана не ми трябва. Така че примерно именно мога да си дигна още Lore Nature. Защото аркана има с преси. Тук няма да ми трябва. Трикари си имам. Persuasion си имам. Значи всичко е точно. Само какво е аз тук. Spell Focus Conjuration. Augment Summoning. Аз бях забравил, че го имам това, Значи аз трябва да се дигна... екстра. Чакай. Аз сега ще се дигна Greater Spell Focus, злата и... This is pretty good. Обаче ще бъде като за начало Conjuration. Greater Spell Focus. Знаете ли какво? Ето Superior Summoning. Дай сега някакъв summon ми трябва. То всъщност това ще е level 1, аз имам summon. Level 1. Какво да си дигнем за level 1? Някакъв buff Mage Armor. Чакай. Burning Hands не ми се ще. Ear Piercing Scream не е лошо. Флер, хипнотизъм. Sleep, Vanish. Vanish слабо. Аз имам бойни магии. По-скоро или Ear Piercing или Mage Armor. Mage Armor. Къде имаме Mage Armor? Сега тук ще си дигнем Summon. Само да видим какво имаме. Summon Monster. 3 Extra Planar Dogs. Добре. Защото това пък ще е само един Small Elemental. Аз сега ще си дигна 3 кучета. Да мога да съмвам. Това стана много добре сега. Добре. Харесва ми като идея. Той ще стане Master Summoner. Идеално. Правилно. Конко. Агресор Були. Булварк. Дердел. Трейсър. Рекър. Devotion Multi-Attack. Всъщност, ето този Animal Companion, който си обикновения, мисля, че си е супер. Artful Acrobat. Combat Mobility. Devil May Care. Can be flanked. This is pretty good. Racer. Fast Movement. Thunder Armor. Devotion. Wrecker е много добър, бе. Сега, тук Athletics. Mobility. Това няма какво друго. Абсолютно. Сега с брейдинг нямам, но не е лошо да му дигнем все пак. Да може да си носи неща. То така ли иначе сега ще трябва да му надигам някакви Midnight. Meatloaf Pathfinder, естествено. Трети осми, примерно, такъв кон. Да си знае. Той е бая силен, екстра. Страхотно ни дойде този рекър. Сега само да му надигаме левелчетата как ще трябва. Ще си има evasion, ще си има някакви газари и неща. Всичко му е ток. Ето сега той обаче с какво се биеше? С какво се бие рекърчета? С байт. Да, това е значи байт. Чакайте, че бях забравил какво да му дигнем като weapon focus. Байт. Така. Ще му дигна едно декстерити все пак. И 5 лево. Сега, може медиум. Или тъфнес. Другия вариант е да е тъфнес, за да има много кръв. Конко. Или додж, за да има армор. Аз не знам дали до края на тази игра ще успея да намеря медиум брейдинг. Ще им лайт. Аз май бях намерил лайт брейдинг. Ама сме го изтървали. Така че по-скоро или тъфнес или додж. И мисля да е тъфнес. Мисля да е тъфнес, да. Така, сега трябва да го позиционираме обаче някъде. И ще стане ето така. Той ще застане тук. Кончето ще застане от другата страна. И сме готови. Almost there. See that roof way over there? That's the tavern. Goody. So what are we waiting for? Off we go. Chop chop. Oh gods, no! We're done for! Just our luck. That thing is right between us and the tavern. Reach the defender's heart. Добре. Машини. Накрая сме. Сейфче. Защо фейлнахме така? Това няма начин май да дигнем 6 левел помежду другото. На всичкото отгоре... Добре, ще се ловна все пак, То е хубаво всъщност да говориме с компаньоните отзаде. Хубаво е да видим какво ще им кажат тук преди края на цялата тази работа. No, that's what I call performing one's duty adequately. There's vigor in Frada's voice, as if she's gained second wind from her success. 50 years of service and nothing could stop Frada Linsdotter from conducting the inspection and reporting the violations. Not rain or snow, not illness, not even a demon invasion. That's right. We're near the Defender's Heart. Do you know anything about this area? Nothing that could help us, I'm afraid. There are no secret passages running underneath the tavern. Of that I'm sure, unfortunately. Добре. Sunny, good day to you. If such a thing can still be held in this city. You alright? Нищо ново не ни казаха тук. Добре, вече сме готови, имаме outflank. Така че можем да спре спокойно.
No challenge at all.
It looks like these guards held off the enemy's onslaught till their last breath, covering the retreat and died heroes. Тук има някаква брадва. Въпросът е аз как да стигна там. Мога ли въобще? Добре, демона седи тук. It's huge. Sandra is speaking through the crack in the wall, staring at the demon. An extra bloodthirsty to boot. What's this moody fella doing here? What kind of creature is it even? All covered in spikes, must have the hardest time sitting down. Shut your trap. If it hears you're yapping, it will use you as a cushion. Rakat looks around with hunted eyes. Fighting it is not an option. It could spit at us and kill us dead. So how do we? We need to distract it. We sacrifice someone so that the rest can run to the tavern while the beast is busy with them. That's horrific. Can't we do this without any sacrifices? Yes, lives are cheap these days. One more, one less, who cares? The plan is solid. I volunteer. What madness is this? We're not sacrificing anybody. What are we, cultists? Better look over there. He points at the ruins behind you. The rickety building looks like it could crumble at any moment. We can make it across the roof, all the way to the tavern, and no one will have to die. Sure, we're not sacrificing anybody, we'll just jump on a pile of rubble and break our necks. We'll die with a clear conscience though. Great plan. Sandra, can you use your magic again? The one you summoned to help us at the graveyard? I don't know. Sandra closed his good eye, listening to his inner self. I don't really control it. It's like an instinct thing. I don't think it wants to come out right now. Sorry. Sorcerers. I like to see a fighter whose sword decides it doesn't feel like slashing today. Maybe we could stimulate your magic somehow. Stimulate? Maybe, but with what? What could summon a deep-seated surge of magic? Breathing exercises, a bucket of ice cream, true lover's kiss. No, that's not it. How about a good smack to the head? You think it could help? Sanji starts slapping his head like a drum. Work! Ah, it's not working. Sorry. Looks like we won't have an ice up our sleeve this time. We need to think of something else. In this case, let's not risk it. We'll try something else. Good call. I like Sanji's suggestion. Let's go through the ruins. That's a great plan. You can bet it is. I'm the one who came up with it. We climb up there. We all die. The moment that wreck falls apart beneath our feet, you want to save everyone? That's not how these things work. Let's go. Well, Desna, don't let us down now. Forward. Ще го направим. The defender's heart was so close, but the last and most daunting obstacle on the way there was a colossal monster stalking the street in search of prey. To avoid it, the escapees were forced to take a roundabout route across the roofs of the nearby houses. From behind them, from the streets of Kенebres, came cries of bloodlust. A crowd of cultists was on the rampage, butchering anyone they met without mercy, and their shouting was drawing closer. The escapees couldn't afford to delay. They had to climb up and pray that the gods would not let any of them fall to the ground below. Having scampered up the crumbling ruins onto the roof of a nearby house, the group froze, hesitating. There was a stretch of empty air just ahead of them, a narrow lane when seen from below, but a yawning chasm from up here. They had to jump. The escapees built a rickety makeshift bridge. Oh shit. After hastily pulling a couple of relatively sturdy planks out of the ruined roof, the escapees used them to bridge the gap between the roofs. The wood creaked in agony and eventually snapped with a treacherous crack, but the escapees managed to jump from the plank, breaking beneath their feet, and land safely on the next roof. But the danger had not yet passed. At the clenching of the rooftop under the escapees' feet, the demon raised its ugly head to the sky and howled in rage. Its nostrils flared as it picked up the scent of its escaping prey. Grunting, it charged toward the wall of the house, on the top of which the escapees were hiding. They had no choice but to hold onto the roof for their life. Fuck. We failed. The crushing blow shook the walls of the house. The vibration made the escapees' bones ache, stones rattling free from the stonework. The force of the impact was such that the escapees who had been clinging to the beams were sent trembling across the floor with sharp bits of roofing falling down upon them. One of these shots whistled right past Sanji's nose, and two more struck Record square in the chest and left bleeding wounds. Saya was able to put her hands up in time and barge off shots which would have turned her face into a pulp, but instead left painful cuts on her arms and shoulders. Glancing down cautiously at the horrid beast stunned by the impact, the escapees hurried deeper into the attic to get out of sight, but new danger awaited them there. As they were making their way through the building, the escapees sensed a familiar smell, smoke. One wing of the building was already in flames. The defender's heart was just out of their reach, the way forward blocked by fire. Not wasting any time, the escapees ran through the burning attic. They nimbly dodged the hungry tongues of flame, reaching for their clothes, jumped over holes, burned through the floor, and finally made it to the other side of the roof. Record, bringing up the rear, was a step away from escaping the fire's embrace when the floor beneath him crumbled. In desperation, he latched onto the boards and immediately hissed in pain. His hand impaled on a frighteningly large nail, poking out of the floor, hanging over the boiling sea of flames. Record could feel his fingers weakening. Suddenly, someone's firm hand grabbed him by the wrist, and Saya heaved Record from the jaws of fiery death. After getting a good look at the hole in his palm, Record glared at the sentry and asked grimly, "So whose brilliant idea was it again to go up the roofs?" But despite Record's sullen remark, the escapees had indeed reached the Defender's heart, leaving the dangerous monster behind. Climbing down from the roof, they saw warriors rushing out of the tavern, gesturing for them to hurry inside. Was it really true? Had they finally made it? Had they? Open up, we're friends, move it. My fist roast you before it's getting closer. Ето ги, бе. Епично. Епично. Добре. Аз обаче, преди да продължим, ми се искаше. The walls of the town may look strong, but you've seen what the demons and their minions are capable of. The crusaders' lives are hanging. Искам да дойда тука и да взема тази брадва, разбирате ли? Cold Iron Masterwork Battle Axe. Добре, това не е което исках, но нищо. Преса се форма плюс 2. Give it here. Аз имам лонгсворди, всякакви глупости, имам як лък обаче. Аз също спомням да сложим грейдсворда, в крайна сметка, нещо, че не е точно този weapon, но всъщност. Тази брадва прави повече критикал. Иначе мога да му сложа на него лонгсворда, който е Cold Iron. И даже това е по-добрия вариант. Все пак. Екстра. Тук сме плюс 14, сега ще станем 13 атака, да. 14 атака или 13 атака. Абе, ще сме с меча на плюс 1, че все пак е по-добър. Да, тия неща са окей. Сега, аз тук исках да си сложа с какво имам? Glass Cuts 4 Dexterity. Тегаво. О, и тук имаме Glass Cuts. Минус 2 на атака ролс. А той няма атака, брат. Минус 5 атака, братле. Рога ми направо загина. Аз сега трябва да му спра това нещо задължително. И ще има 4 атака. Ужас. Тежко ще бъде сега с този ролк. Да се надяваме, че сме на края на играта и това няма да окаже чак такова влияние, защото ужаса е истински. Така, тук на сам път нямаме. Тук видяхме какво трябваше. Тира бейт тук. Аз искам обаче първо. Тук бяхме. Искам да видя какво има насам. Някакви полшени, някакви неща. То това е, бе. Яко. Окей. Все има. Get in quickly. We can't keep the gate open for long. Айде. Тук сме, бе. Дали ще има сега последна битка или не? If an angel can fall, does that mean a demon can ascend? Това даже сме учили. Естествено, че това означава. Дали свърши играта, обаче е въпрос. On behalf of the city authorities and myself, I hereby offer our gratitude for the rescue. 3 оцеляха от 5. I'm alive, imagine that. Alive, praise to all the gods. And of course to you, my rescuers. So this is the place, typical. Where else would paladins hold the line but in a tavern? Welcome. The intimidating armor-clad half-orc who met you at the tavern gate greets you with a nod. It's good to see you alive, Rekard. You too! So, Irbeth, here's what we're looking at. The demons come replying to attack the defender's heart. They are gathering their forces in the Tower of Westrod, and they could strike at any minute. I was prowling around, listening to their plans, when they caught me and dragged me off to their makeshift prison. Here, all the particulars. Here are all the particulars. Rekard hands her a piece of paper folded into quarters. After a moment's hesitation, he adds, and my condolences about Anivia. Stay strong, sister. There will be time for tears later, when we win this war. Don't reach for your handkerchief just yet. A smile blooms on the paladin's grim face. Anivia is here, alive and well. Go and tell her of your exploits. Perhaps she will even remind you that the expected way to report to me is Commander. I have an urgent report, not so, Irbeth. Here's what we're looking at. Although I wouldn't bet on it. Seriously? She's alive? Rekard heaves a sigh of relief. Praise the Savored's thing. Now I feel like an ass for thinking it was even possible she was dead. I've seen her in action. More lives than a cat, that one. Callistra, also known as the Savored's thing. There were civilians with us townspeople we saved from the cultists and monsters. Thank you for finding a way to look out for others as well as yourselves. The saving of a life is an act that gladdens a Yomade. Since the attack, Kенebres was being left almost leaderless. People like Father Linsdottin are worth their weight in gold. It will be they who will rebuild the city once we are driven the enemy out. I think we'll find a way to restore her sight. I remember Maestro Nangrat Messani, and Evie and I attended one of his performances. He is a remarkable musician talent. Thank you for keeping him safe. Hiwar Ina is an interesting person. She had barely stepped through the tavern door before attending to 2 wounded soldiers, and roundly scolding 5 healthy ones. I can already tell she's going to make things difficult, but much less difficult than they would be without her. Thank you. Now is not the time to be handing out medals, but I promise, once we secure our victory, your contribution won't be forgotten. Can't fill my belly with thanks. How about you spare some gold instead? Shush you, we saved people. What else do you want? Are we crusaders or some kind of mercenaries? What's the situation in the city? It's bad, but not hopeless. New fighters are joining us all the time, and those we thought lost are returning for duty. We will continue to fight. The crusades are not over. We have already stormed the Grey Garrison, where the command of the occupying forces is based. Unfortunately, we had to retreat, but we will return, and we will send them straight back to the Abyss. For security reasons, I cannot disclose all the details, but I can tell you one thing. A strike force of brave souls has joined our efforts, led by a truly remarkable individual. Ние, другият герой. If their mission is successful, the enemy will not withstand our counterattack. Can we help in any way with the tavern defense? Your report has helped invaluably. You've had a tough time of it. Your legs are barely holding you up. Take refuge in the cellar and get some rest. You've earned it. Are you sure? This looks like an all-hands-on-deck situation to me. Anivia teaches her people well, I see. You have stopped trying to slap me on the shoulder while I'm giving you orders, at least. Irbeth flashes a grin before her face turns grave once more. Yes, Rekard, I'm sure of my orders. Now, if you would be so kind, do as you're told. Do we still have time before the battle starts? I think so. You can take a look around the tavern, talk to the survivors. Have a beer, maybe get some new gear, but whatever you do, do not go past the gate. The monsters could attack at any moment. Beer, conversation, even a little shopping. How I have missed the small pleasures of civilization these last days. Rekard looks like he wants to protest, but he just hunches his shoulders and looks aside. It seems that he, unlike Sentry, is not overly happy to be back among people. Going now. Alright, when you go down into the basement, we'll barricade you from up here. You'll rest easy while we drive off the demons and their minions. Eagle Watch Crusaders. Talk to the people in the tavern. Фрада си е тук. А ето я Нивия. Взимаме всички скролове. Сторителърчето е тук. Адската лудница. Добре. Фрада. Първо с нея ще говорим. Чието сейвне. Тук сега си знаем някакви неща. These knights are heroes, survivors. What's up? You arrived with a group of escapees, didn't you? Praise Abadar that you managed to escape those criminals and make it here. The portly old man smiles warmly at you, Abadar's sacred symbol gleaming on his chest. I'm Vasily Ratimus. If you need the help of a cleric, I'm at your service. Thank you for protecting Frada Linsdalt, and once we've won back this city from the monsters, only people like her will be able to rebuild it. Who are you? Vasily Ratimus, sworn servant of Abadar. I was the prior of the temple of Abadar in Kенебрес while it stood. Now I'm prior of only a bag of scrolls, but that's alright. Our Lord helps those who rebuild cities from the ashes. You're selling scrolls? Can you help the victims of the calamity for free? Alas, I cannot. The giving of alms is a sin before Abadar. If the people became inured to receiving things for free, they will cease to work hard. That will spell the end of everything. Skilled traders, commerce, cities, civilization itself. Do not ask me to give anything away for free, for I cannot. You Abadarans are a miserable lot. All of civilization will collapse as a result of one good turn indeed. What about being a good neighbor? Does your god for our cities not teach you that? Do not confuse two different things. He sagely raises a finger. Being a good neighbor is one thing. Cultivating parasites is another. I need the help of a cleric. That's what I'm here for. Take a look at what I've got. And if you need me to read a scroll for you, I'll do it free of charge. Поне може да ни прочете скрол безплатно. Мале. Тук има неща. Без контрол. Гледайте какви работи. Как ще ги купим тия работи? Това Battle Axe е много як. Така. Тия двете неща ще ги запазя обаче. Всичките тия. Cold Iron Masterwork Battle Axe. 200 голд. Много се замислям да я продам тази брада, не знаете. По е много яка да му се навиди. Продаваме всички излишни глупости. Нямам голд. Само 2300 голд. Откъде толкова много голд за тия неща? Аз направо не мога... Тук може би ще мога да си вземе някаква... такова за хранички. Тук има всякакви скролове, това е яко. You acquired this item while exploring the Defender's Heart. Тоест аз го имам това нещо. You know this recipe. Аз се надявах да мога да си вземе някакво друго рецепи. Добре, няма друго какво тук. Така. И си е тук. Нищо много не ни каза. Стантън Вен е тук, Ленград е тук. Герой Хокъс. Я да видим Нивия какво ще ни каже. Всъщност първо ще направим един Knowledge World. Songs were sung from this stage until very recently. Now it is empty, but who knows? Perhaps music will return to this place once more. Ето го. Ленград си е тук и си пее как се трябва. Я да я видим Анивия. There you are, an unassuming woman in dusty clothes scrutinizes you, her eyebrows raised. Anivia is the name. Raka told me about your little stroll across the city. Not bad at all. Ever thought of joining an order? Perhaps there are plenty of spots free in Eagle Watch right now. Just saying. Oh really? That's wonderful. No one asked me to become a knight before. I wonder why. I thought others would be lining up to get a talent like you into their ranks. I thought others would be lining up to get a talent like you into their ranks. That's exactly what I thought. But hey ho, it doesn't matter. It gives you a playful wink. At least, now they have finally seen our true worth. Join the Eagle Watch? Sure, why not? Now we're talking. Best you rest up for now. After that trek, you've earned it. Don't worry about the heart. We ain't gonna let nobody in. Tomorrow, I'll tell you what we've got going on here when I can think straight. I don't know what you think being part of an order is like, but prepare to be disappointed. Can I help with the tavern defense? You and Record already did your bit when you delivered that information. It will do nobody any good if you go roaring into the battle, staggering from exhaustion, and heroically fall on the cultist blades. I appreciate the offer, I really do, but it's best if you rest now. We'll manage, don't worry about us. So you're the person who trained Record, he's tough. Right. My school taught him everything he knows. And if he agrees with satisfaction, nodding. My school and the streets of Chenebres. This city teaches you things they ain't never heard about in no university. I don't know what they get up into these universities, Sanji says with a dismissive wave of his hand. I've never even gotten as far as the doorstep at any of them. They all gabble nonsense about high standards of scholarship and about the rules of setting out manuscripts, how wide the margins ought to be, what color of ink to use. I would think that a true academic should be able to work out such things for themselves. Well, if that's true, then this journey alone should be worth at least one dissertation. Record smirks at Sanji, as he usually does, but there is no malice in it this time. He is still basking in the afterglow of Onivia's praise. I heard you died during the demon attack. Hey, don't worry about it. It's not the first time people thought I was a goner, Onivia laughs. There's no willing, it won't be the last. After our visitors from the wound came calling, I had to go on a little stroll just like you lot. But I'm not as easy to bury as some people would like to think. I'm going now. Aha. Go on and put your feet up. Stanton, как си, приятелю? Minnow that cursed fiend. Why has she come back to the abyss with all of it? Тук има някакво парченце. Crusader's letter, my son. You're already 10 years old. As I write these words, I don't know when you will read them, or if you will ever get a chance. I'm writing to you from a city besieged by demonic horde in the last Crusader stronghold, minutes before the battle that may very well be our last. I have put off writing this account year after year, but now that I can feel death breathing down my neck, I thought it was finally time to pick up a quill. I don't doubt that in our noble family my name is either mired in disgrace or consigned to obscurity. I am called a coward and a traitor, one who forsook his homeland and his family. It doesn't matter to me. As I see it, I owe nothing to the great house Garrus. They gave me life, yes, but they took my childhood and my youth, denying me love and friendship, joy and happiness. I owe them nothing, but to you, my son, I owe the truth. I never loved your mother, nor she me. Marriages amongst the nobility are not brokered for love. When a brevic aristocrat says the word love, he means obedience. It was in the name of love that your great-grandfather bid me love that woman, and I obeyed, to my sorrow and hers. I comforted myself with the hope that our union would prove fruitless, for I knew I would be unable to give you anything but the same northern love. That cold cruelty that speaks its name in screams and floggings. I resolved to flee when I understood everything with clarity. Bravery was doomed to a civil war. For too long had its two halves, Rosalind and Isia, suffered under the yoke of this forced marriage, as your own parents had. I counted among my friends many heroes of Restov, who bore the illustrious name of Dori. I knew I would be forced to raise my sword against them when the great houses decided to destroy the very top of an independent Rostland. It was a burden I knew I could not bear. I turned my back on my homeland and my family and fled to Mendev to join the Crusaders. Whatever horrors awaited me in a war against evil incarnate, they could not be more terrifying than the fratricidal slaughter that was coming from for Bravoy. In Mendev, I could be sure who my friends were and who was the enemy. Here I need not wonder if I'm fighting for just cause. Here is where I learned what love is, real love. Goodbye, my son. Know that I regret nothing. I found my truth. I hope you will find yours. Quilcy Garrus, foot soldier of the Crusader army of Her Majesty Queen Galfrey of Mendev. Okay. If they say so. Аха, ние сме насам. Значи първо ще си говорим с storyteller така. What's up there? So many stories have become intertwined within the city. I can feel somewhere nearby another one of them is approaching its turning point. Това ли би харесва как го каза, приятелю? Turning point. New arrivals, make yourselves at home. The pilot Dampier gives you an interested once over with his blood-filled eyes. What will it be? Oh, look at the eyes on him, like chips of ice. Barkeep, if you'd be so kind, stare a little longer at my tankard. I like my beer extra cold. With an irritated snort, the Dampier turns away from Sandry. How are things in the tavern? The tavern keeper shrugs. All the others in the city have closed, so things aren't going too bad considering. War is bad for some, but it means big business for others, eh? General. You, the Dampier points a pale finger accusingly at Rackard. Swipe 2 bottles of wine and a whole ham. I should throw you out. Come on, that was 20 years back. I paid you back a long time ago. Are you going to keep bringing it up for the rest of my life? Yes. Do you think this place will hold up under the cultist attack? The tavern? No. But that lot? He nods at the knights gathered around. They'll do it. This is their last chance. Tavern keeper, while he gestures at rows of bottles behind him. Той какво продава? Полшани. Някакви ресурсчета продава. Помежду другото, може би не е лоша идея. You don't know this recipe. Щом не го знам, веднага го взимам, брат. Demon Slayer суп. Сега как можех да видя... Как можех да видя ресъпитата, които имам. Интересно ми е, защото е хубаво да вземем материали, за да мога да ги построим тия неща. Аз тук горе бях ли между другото? Да, бях там, бях. Да, е смисъл, ако има нещо скрито, да го намерим в крайна сметка. Джано. May Rusty watches over you violent crusaders. May he watch over us all. For Autumn Haze, ето този гаден тип. The demon's minions are celebrating victory, but they won't escape vengeance. Айде. Хубаво да сейвна тук и някакви неща да направим. It seems someone was being held behind these bars very recently. A prisoner. О, т.е. ние пристигаме след като нашите герои са си тръгнали от тук, така ли? Outside. Да, защото тук вече някакви неща се случват. Very well then. Safe haven. Rest in a cellar. Дали свърши играта сега? Какво става? Ние знаем тук какво става. Сега ще дефендиме здраво кръчмата. Ама ние ще участваме ли в тази битка заедно с нашия главен герой или? How are they faring without us, I wonder? Perhaps we should go up and lend a hand. Rebet said to sit tight down here, so we're going to stay here and not get in the way. Hey, what are you doing? Well, maybe then... Ow, my eye, something is coming. I can feel it. Something very, very bad. Ба такъв е това, бе. You are here for me, aren't you? Well then, take me, but leave the others alone. Come on, put down your little toy. Какво стана, бе?
There he is on yonder hill. I bet he's pulling some awful faces at us from under that ridiculous mask. Yup. Let's wallop him so he sends us back and troubles us no more.
Hold on. Aren't you going to explain any of this? Where are we? Who is that fool in the mask and what does he want from us?
I don't know. I swear I don't.
You said he was after you. So you do know something after all.
I can make a pretty good guess, more like. You see, how do I explain it? I swear on my fluffy socks that I don't know what I've got myself tangled up in. That fellow's been on my tail for days and days, even before I got to Kенebres. I could sense his presence deep in my gut, and that's all I know. I bet he's got something nasty in mind. Hey, you! Why don't you come down here and tell us who you are and what you want from us?
The gnome shakes his fist at the menacing figure on the hill. The cultist on the hill raises his arm, and Sentry freezes. The bandage falls from his face, revealing that the eye beneath is glowing with an icy light, much like the light of the cold, deadened sky above your heads. Sentry convulses, clutches his throat, and is seized by a violent coughing. When the coughing subsides, Sentry's lips begin to move, but the words that emerge are not his own.
At last you're mine. You will pay for making me chase after you for so long. You tried to deny me what was mine by right. And the rod, my rod, you will pay for that.
Sentry's terrified eyes dart between you and the cultist speaking through him. Who are you? Name yourself.
My face is hidden. My name shrouded in secret. I am a servant of the Great One, and a vessel for his might. I am nothing, but I am destined for greatness.
О, той служи май на този демоничния лорд на тайните, защото щом казва аз съм нищо, значи да.
Usual cultist gabble. Sounds mysterious, but it's just empty words.
Who do you serve?
The mortals have forgotten the name of the Great One. They will remember it. They will remember it and tremble. Hear the name of my master and yours. damned ones.
Не този някакъв друг. По-спокойно е.
I thought he was gonna say Baphomet or Discari. Sith who?
Именно.
That's a new one for me.
The tiefling scratches his cheek in puzzlement. Where are we?
In the abyss. In the kingdom of my master. Your master too. The master of all worlds.
How long have you been following us?
Not you. The gnome. A long time.
Just a cut for
Long.
What do you want from us?
From you, I want you to die. From the gnome, I want a stolen treasure. Something he acquired by chance. Great power. It is mine. Mine.
My precious. Добре. Release Sandry right now.
I have hunted him for a long time. He is mine, mine by right. He has my treasure. And you do not dare to give me orders. You will all suffer the same fate. You will be but frozen bones beneath my feet.
Someone's cocky. Aren't you afraid you'll slip?
What treasure do you want to take from
It is
Sandry?
something that came into his possession by chance. Something he does not understand. A shard of the Great One's power. The same power resides within me. But I mastered it. I absorbed it. I learned its ways. Once I have gathered all the shards, my master will be reborn.
Ha! Maybe I didn't know how to wield this power, but I swear on my bandaged eye that I will soon learn.
The grimace of fear on Sandry's face turns into an infant smirk. His eye flashes like an icy star, and the mage on the hill flinches and falls silent.
Thanks for keeping him talking. While he was poking around in my head, I was poking around in his. Alright then, let's get ourselves back home before he gains the upper hand again.
Sandry raises his hand, and the cultist copies the movement like a puppet. A portal opens before you.
Whose side are you even on? What's going on here?
I'm on our side, of course. Who else is? As for what's going on, I heard the same as you. That scoundrel serves someone called Sithod. No doubt a hideous creature with a name like that. He carries within him a piece of this Sithod's power, and it seems I do too. I don't have a clue what's going on, but everything's relatively clear. Alright, enough chit-chat. This villain will come to at any moment and close the portal. Get going. Shoo! Don't you worry about me. I'll be sticking around here.
We have no reason to stay here. Come back with us.
No! Remember what happened with the Inquisitors? I understand now. It was my fault. Well, it wasn't exactly my fault, but that rotten scoundrel was after me, and others suffered for it. And the same thing happened in the tavern. That one in the mask won't leave me alone. He'll find me wherever I go, and he'll kill another lot of innocent bystanders in the process.
Sandry shakes his head with such vehemence. It seems it may fly off his skinny neck at any moment.
We're trying to play the hero? You'll die here for nothing. Can't you come up with a smarter idea? If I were you, I'd go back, round up some of my pals, and set a trap for this creep. Actually, you know what? I don't give a damn. Do what you want. If you were a little bit smarter, you'd stick with us. But if you're just looking to grandstand, have at it. get frostbite on your ass and die here if it'll make you happy. Come on, let's go home. There's no reason for us to stay here.
Wrecker scratches his cheek and spits on the ground.
That's what I've been telling you. Go! But I'm not running anymore. I'm going to finish this right now. I've made up my mind and you won't talk me out of it. I swear on my gold earring.
Sandra brings his fist down into his open palm with a decisive smack. We won't leave you. Whatever's waiting for you here, we'll face it down together.
Have you lost your mind? We're in the middle of nowhere, in a blizzard, without hats, gloves, or even a fur coat between us. And now with no way home. You'll live to regret this, mark my words you will. But, even so, thank you. You are true friends. Your words
Няма
have
как да го
warmed my
оставим
heart.
сам това.
Well, since we're all stuck here now, onward. Let's take down that masked madman.
The cultist on the hill raises his arms and lets out a long rasping noise. The portal closes. Можеше ли първо да се бъфнеме? Халото ми остана, ореолчето ми остана там на мястото. Защо не ми е смерил ореолчето, бе? Ето му ги тия демоняци са тук. Far from the world of mortals, the portal between the planes slammed shut, cutting off the small party's way back home. They had to come so far through the ravaged Kenebres, they had evaded so many deadly perils. Surely they had not survived all that only to die without a trace in the freezing cold far from the mortal world. Of course not, but the fate of those brave souls long remained a mystery. Добре. Това означава, че ще има продължение на това DLC. Усещате ли? Леле, адското, добре. Аз сега нямам търпение, искам да видя какво ще стане. То стана много интересно накрая. Всичко се промени някакси изведнъж. Имахме някаква мисия да стигнем до някъде, стигнахме, всичко стана и сега изведнъж отидохме в някаква адска част, при някакъв друг лорд, демоничен, дет не го знае. Тия нашите герои са някакви... Добре, ето супер яко, че ще продължим историята с тях. Това много ми харесва. Добре, ама аз си мислех, че ние ще успеем да се видим с нашия герой в таверната. Ама излиза, че той е минал оттам и ние пристигаме след него. Явно. А това означава, че той най-вероятно пък ще се види с Ленград, с Инай и тази джуджавката. След като те оцеляха. Много интересно. Добре, супер яко. Ами, това беше всичко от трудяше с DLC-то. Сега като се връщам назад, въпреки че станаха там бая епизоди, колко направихме? 9-10 епизода. Кратичка ми се стори въпреки всичко играта, но много ми харесаха тия елементи, които са с... можем да бутнем някой карт, да минем от някъде, да вържиме въже, да се прехвърляме през някакви стени. Има такива много готини елементи на оцеляване и като цяло DLC-то, идеята на DLC-то много ми допадна. Искаше ми се да е повече определено. Очаквам, може би, следващото продължение, например, на това DLC да е така още по-сбъркано, може би по-дълго и да има доста интересни неща в него, както до момента. Защото за момента съм много доволен. Като цяло, Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous, цялата игра изобщо не ме разочарова нито за миг. Предстои сега, този месец, даже най-вероятно може и да е излязло вече следващото DLC, защото не си спомням кога беше. Така че ще продължим с него и естествено, когато има време, ще започнем и преиграването ни с лича. Но това ще бъде всичко за сега. Благодаря ви, че гледахте. Надявам се да ви е било забавно. Бих казал, че Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous е може би от този тип RPG-та, който гледаме партията си отгоре, може би е най-добрата игра според мен и за мен. Така че със сигурност ще играем още Pathfinder. Също така знаем още от отдавна всъщност вече, аз просто не съм го споменал до сега, че Alcat Games всъщност правят RPG от същия сорт, само че по средата на Warhammer 40k. Казва се Rogue Trader. И също така нямам търпение да излезе и то, най-вероятно ще излезе до година. И със сигурност ще го разцъкаме, надявам се да мога да го разцъкаме и да го запишем за канала. И така, това е от мен. Благодаря ви отново. Желая всичко хубаво. Чао, чао!